Hi, I'm Mary Lee LeBay, and I want to talk to you for a few minutes about why hypnotherapy is so effective. When we're using hypnosis, we are connecting to the subconscious mind. So, in our conscious mind, we have all of the awareness of our thoughts, of our behaviors, of our environment. So, these are the things we're consciously aware of. When you go into a psychotherapy session or a session with a counselor that is not using hypnotherapy, typically you're talking about the memories that you have, the knowledge that you have, the analysis that you've made concerning your situation. You talk about your problems, and hopefully you come up with some solutions. In hypnotherapy, we're doing very similar work, although at the beginning of the session, the hypnotherapist puts the client into a trance state. So, this state, at least the way that I work with it, that state is very similar to being in a meditation, a very deep and focused meditation. When a person is guiding you there, sometimes that takes you in quicker and deeper. And so the other thing with having a hypnotherapist present is they keep you on track and they keep your mind focused, where in a meditation perhaps you can kind of go off in different directions or fall asleep. So in a hypnotherapy session, we're actually going into that meditative state, and then that helps us to connect with the higher self, the subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it, that other part of you that is running the programs. The subconscious mind is active all the time. So when you were a child and you were growing up, all the impressions that you had in life were being logged in there. You were determining how you felt about the world and how you felt about people, how you were going to interact. So all of that was occurring as a child and being logged into your subconscious mind. Of course, that continues into adulthood too. The subconscious mind just keeps that camera rolling, and it holds your memories as visuals, as pictures, as concepts. And it doesn't hold it in there in a linear, logical filing system at all. It's all just thrown in there and connected together in whatever way it feels is best. So when we go in with hypnotherapy, we can go in and see how the subconscious mind is holding those thoughts and feelings and images and experiences. And the ones that aren't working for you, we can fix. We can, unplug it from there and plug it into something that's more positive in your life. So, for instance, I'm working with a client who's working on weight issues. And so everybody has a different kind of approach to weight loss, but also as a person trying to lose weight, we each have our own life and our concept of life uniquely designed within us. So not one approach is going to be a cure-all for everybody. So the way that I work in hypnosis, we would go in and look for the specific issues that are supporting this tendency to gain weight or to have bad eating habits. One of the ways that I work, I tell the client, it may not look like we're going straight in and why is the person overeating or eating the wrong things and sabotaging their weight loss efforts? Why are they holding on to all of this weight? When we go in, I'm taking cues from their subconscious mind. And so, based on that, we're going to follow the cookie crumbs and find out what is holding these habits in place. So one client, or we'll talk about lots of clients, just shake it up a little bit. But one of the issues a person had was self-sabotage. And so we looked, we wanted to find out, why is this person sabotaging their efforts? Well, their subconscious mind took them directly to their relationship with their father when they were a very small child, 3 years old. And the parents were divorcing, and somehow this child, or this person, um, was taking on some traits and habits that she was observing in her father. And it was his sabotage. But I think at a deep level, she was thinking, she was feeling bad for her father. And because of his addiction behaviors, her mother was leaving him. So maybe taking on those habits from him, misguidedly feeling like, if I take that off of him, maybe he'll be fine and then I'll just deal with it. Well, we all know that that's not true, that he's still going to be dealing with it. He's got to do his own work, that no matter how much we try to take something off someone else, it's not really going to work effectively for them. So anyway, so fast forward a few decades, and she's got this subliminal issue in the back of her head that keeps sabotaging her food habits. And it's really interesting how that developed. But anyway, who would have guessed, right? So often in my hypnotherapy sessions, it's like we would have never thought to go there, to find the root cause of what was going on. So anyway, we were able to resolve that and have that, it's like, okay, that's not my issue. These are not my thoughts. This is not the way that I want to create my life and build my future and support my health. So we disconnected that from her, and she's very successfully now being able to not sabotage those goals that she's making for herself. But you could just see the light bulb go off. Another client, it was dealing with smoking. And again, going in, normally she expected that a hypnotherapist would be, oh, smoking is going to make you feel sick, or, you're going to quit, kind of putting affirmations in there or addressing it that way. But based on the beginning of the session when we went in there, it turned out that she saw all these things from her childhood, and they made her very happy, but at the same time very sad. And there was this longing to be connected to this part of her childhood. So when we went into the childhood part of that, and she was talking with her younger self, her 3-year-old or 8-year-old, her younger self that had all of these items back then, she discovered that part of her wanted to know why she was so serious now, why she was not making time for play and not making time for joy and all the fun things in life we had to work on responsibility and how she was taking adult responsibility now and not avoiding and denying herself the joy that she used to have as a child. And so then our work became about how do we bring that joy in? How do we bring that flow, still take care of all the responsibilities of our lives, go to work, make money, invest wisely, save, do all the things that are going to be necessary as an adult, but do them with joy and flow and have the energy flowing and, bringing that love and joy and life back into her. And so then she was able to quit smoking based on that this cigarette was kind of giving her time out from all this stress. but what she really needed was this joyful stimulation. So those are just a couple of examples of how hypnotherapy can work very, very effectively in understanding what's really going on in these behaviors. You know, root causes that we would never have guessed right up. And so what my clients are telling me is that they can spend years, maybe decades in therapy, and they'll come to me, and in a few sessions they've gotten to the root of it, and we've been able to fix it right in there, right at the time of the session, and it just evaporates. That stimulus, that motivation, that urge is just no longer there because we've satisfied it in a different way, or we've simply brought it out into the light to take a look at it, and we're making different choices. We have different values at this time in our lives. So hypnotherapy can be extremely successful in handling pretty much any kind of case. Everything. I work with people that have physical pain, that have addictions, that have problematic behaviors, dysfunctional relationships, abundance issues, and also, past life regression. My sweetheart clients are the ones who really want to do self-discovery, learn about themselves and be more connected spiritually, either through past lives or their spirit guides or some other way that they're connected. But even with the clients who are on that spiritual path, my sweetheart clients, they also have issues. We all do. We all have stressors or relationship issues, or maybe compulsive behaviors or addictions, or overeating, overdrinking, something like that. So even though the goal is to make that spiritual connection, learn who we are in other lifetimes, we can also take care of these things that are holding us back and blocking us. So the way that I look at a series of sessions is to get all of the blocks, all of the things out of our system that aren't working for us anymore. And then we're going to start looking at our goals for where we want to move now. How do we want to move into the future? What do we want to accomplish? What's our purpose? What's our mission? And then put those steps in place. And, sometimes it might have to do with dealing with, well, people won't accept me if I change so much, or I'll lose friends if I quit smoking, or all the things that are going to change in your life as you grow and change and evolve as a person. And so then we're working on how do we manage that and how do we move gracefully into the future. So if you're interested in hypnotherapy, I would love to talk with you privately on the phone. You can go to my calendar and sign up for a free discovery call. I devote 30 to 60 minutes with you to talk about what issues you're facing and how that's affecting you and what you would like to do about that, what your goals are, and then I can explain a little more clearly or in more detail about how I work and how that would look working together. Anyway, namaste. Wonderful seeing you here today, and enjoy.